We've got some more bugs to go through after our Squirm update. Some of these bugs may be a bit familiar, but they still have not been fixed. Our first bug is to do with Twisted Connie, and Twisted Connie doesn't seem to be a very buggy Twisted at all, but let's see what happened. This user said, "Hey Connie, what happened? Let's take a look." As you can see, Twisted Connie's pathing is completely broken. She's walking into the wall with no direction whatsoever. I wonder why Twisted Connie is bugging like this. Usually Twisted Connie is not a Twisted that has pathing issues, so this is quite bizarre. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Boxton. This user said, "Twisted Boxton is running in place, and no, I'm not lagging. You can see other Toons moving." Let's check it out. As you can see, Twisted Boxton is indeed running in place. This is in our newest update, so it is quite worrying that the Twisted pathing still has some problems, even after all of the changes the dev team have made. Our next bug is to do with one of the most feared Twisteds in Dandy's World, Twisted Goob. This user said, "Scrap siblings aren't really getting stopped by boxes." Let's take a look. So Pebble is distracting a few Twisteds. Let's see what Twisted Goob does to Pebble. Goob managed to grab the pebble, it seemed like through a box, but it looks like the user's ping is quite high. It's at 233, which is pretty high. You know, to have a good connection, your ping should be about, 30, 40, 50, 60, around there. But 233 is pretty high, so you can expect to get yourself into some sticky situations because of a higher ping, because the game registers your toon at a different location to where you actually are because of your high ping. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Squirm. This user said, "Squirm is attacking through glass." What? If we take a closer look, it is true. Twisted Squirm has taken a hold of this eclipse through the glass, and this looks like the gift shop map, I believe. I wonder if the dev team know about this. I wonder if it's intentional. That makes avoiding Twisted Squirm so much more difficult. You think you're safe behind glass, and then bam, Twisted Squirm grabs you. Another bug to do with Twisted Squirm is a bug we've covered before about Twisted Squirm. However, this shows how severe the bug is. This Redditor said, "Must distract worm." Let's take a look at the video. As you can see, Twisted Squirm is following the Louis, is completely bugged. We've seen something like this before, but I never knew how severe the bug was. Twisted Squirm just follows the distractor around. Hopefully the dev team can figure out why exactly Twisted Squirm has this behavior. Our next bug is to do with Ginger and Ginger's healing ability. This user said, "Ginger was nowhere near me, but the healing thing stayed. I thought this was fixed in the Christmas update." If we take a closer look, Ginger's healing message stays on the screen even though Ginger is not healing you. This bug is still happening. I thought maybe the dev team have sorted this out. That can get pretty annoying if the message stays on your screen for a long period of time. I hope the dev team can figure out a solution for this, because the message can get in the way of your gameplay and pretty much ruin your run. Our next bug is to do with Bobbit using her precious packaging ability in the elevator. This user said, "I was playing Danny's World till this happened." Let's take a look. Okay, so everybody's going to elevator, everything looks normal. Let's see what happens. So it looks like Twisted Boxton is now chasing Bobbit. Everyone is going inside the elevator, everything looks normal. Looks like Bobbit is staying outside the elevator until it's a bit safe. Okay, Bobbit has now activated precious packaging, and the elevator closes, and then Bobbit dies. How did Bobbit die? She was safe inside the elevator, and Bobbit was inside her precious packaging ability. What could be the explanation here? Did the game think that Bobbit was outside the elevator? I think I have seen this happen before, but this should not be happening at all. You're inside the elevator, you're safe and sound from danger, but it seemed like the system thought that Bobbit was outside the elevator. That is bizarre. I hope this isn't happening to other Bobbit players out there. Our next bug is to do with the Treadmill skill check not matching Toons skill check stars. So this user said, "Treadmill machines has a 5-star skill check, but Squirm's skill check is 3. My trinkets are participation and mag, if that does anything." And if we take a closer look, Squirm's Treadmill skill check is 0 out of 4. However, Squirm has only 3 skill check stars, which means that the amount of skill checks Squirm needs to complete on the treadmill machine should be higher. So why is it at 4 instead of a higher number? This has been happening to a lot of Toons with 3 skill check. The system thinks that Toons with 3 skill check have a higher skill check and therefore need to complete less skill checks on the treadmill machine. This has been happening for a very long time and now it's happening to Squirm, so it has brought up the question again. I wonder if the dev team know about this or if they are having trouble finding a solution. Our next bug is very severe. It's been happening over the past couple of days and it's happening to so many players in the same run. This has nothing to do with ping. I don't even think this has anything to do with the Roblox servers. This user and so many other users have said, me and my friend were going to duo distract in a matchmaking run together and we came across this in the lobby. It wasn't ping or an exploiter because everyone was claiming others were frozen and they were the only one moving. The first 2 videos is my friend's point of view and the third is my point of view. Okay, so let's look at what happened from their friend's point of view. So their friend is playing Creepy Clown Louie and as you can see on their screen, they can move around, but everybody else is frozen in place. And this is happening to a lot of players in the same run. Everybody's experiencing it. And the only time you can see other Toons is when they're extracting, as you saw that Sprout was running and extracting at the same time. As you can see, Cosmo is running in place and extracting at the same time. And this is what the user saw when watching their friend. Let's take a look. As you can see, Twisted Boxton and Twisted Poppy are chasing nothing. This bug has been happening to so many other users. This user said, I believe this is a bug. It made multiple people invisible for others or for some. People seem to freeze outside of elevator without moving, even though they were. The game itself was really laggy at the start before we started recording. A Shelly was stuck in the elevator the whole floor as well. Let's take a look. So Twisted Tisha and Twisted Brusher are chasing nothing and they're attacking nothing as well. As you saw the eye-core spilling out of a Toon, but nobody was there. And here it is happening again. The Twisteds are chasing absolutely nothing, but there is a Toon there, but you just can't see them. This problem has also been in the Garden View lobby as well. This user said, I'm not sure if this is a bug, but it's been happening quite a lot. Some servers are full of people not moving and my ping is just fine. Let's take a look. So as you can see, it's the same problem. Toons are running in place and a lot of players are wondering what's going on. Is this a Roblox server issue? Does the Dandy's World dev team need to look into something? What exactly is happening? Hopefully the dev team can shed some light onto what exactly is happening. What's causing your teammates to go invisible on your screen? Our next bug is quite an old bug, but it's still happening to players. It's super annoying and players want an answer as to why this has not been fixed yet. This user said, whatever was this skill check bug? Let's take a look. As you can hear, the skill check noise is completely bugging out. It's buzzing for no reason. What is happening? This has been happening for a while now and the dev team still haven't found a solution, it seems. Our next bug is to do with a hole inside the map. This user said, I don't know if this counts as a bug, but the roof is a little bit off. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, there is a gap in the roof which allows you to see the sky. What is going on? This has been happening to other players as well. This user said open ceiling on the small kitchen map. This user has also experienced a gap between the wall and the ceiling, allowing you to see the sky. It's happening to a lot of players. What's going on behind the scenes? Hopefully the dev team can patch this gap and fix the map because it's literally letting in light as well. As you can see, there's light coming through. Our next bug is to do with the lighting. This user said there's this little glitchy light thing. I don't know what it is. Let's take a look. As you can see the box flash a light. And then when this user goes to dial, dial's head lights up as well. That's super unusual. And it looks like this user is on a console, but they're having these weird texture problems. That's really unusual. I wonder why the lighting is bugging out like that. Our next problem is to do with matchmaking. This user said the new matchup criteria is very difficult because not many people in my country play. Whenever I match up now, I only get 1 or 2 people and sometimes nobody. It's very sad and frustrating. Okay, so this is a result of the new matchmaking criteria and weightings that the devs have decided to use. Joey Sticks said a few days ago, Roblox has now given us new variables to work with and we've adjusted our matchmaking to use them. We also wanted to give a bit more transparency into how Fill Party actually works. This is how matchmaking is weighted from the highest to the lowest weighted variables. Okay, so we're going to take a look at how exactly matchmaking matches you with other players and what the system prioritizes over other things. So first on the list that the system prioritizes is region. You will only match with players in your region to reduce latency. Next is chat compatibility. The system then prioritizes players you can chat with. Next is experience level. It matches you with similarly experienced players. Lastly is party size. Finally, the system works to get your party as close to 8 players as possible. Now we get to see how exactly the matchmaking system chooses who you're matched with, and it seems to prioritize region first, and then chat compatibility, then experience level, and then party size. So this user talking about how they can't get anybody to play with makes a lot of sense because the system wants to pair you with people in your region over anything else. That can lead to players in regions where there aren't a lot of Dandy's World players playing alone or maybe with one other person, which seems kind of sad for them to be cut off from a large majority of the player base because of their region. It does say that the dev team decided to make region a priority when matchmaking to reduce latency. So latency is a big deal in Danny's World, but I wonder if it's the correct choice to put region first as a priority when matchmaking players, because you have players like this that can't find anybody to play with. Our next bug is about console players having trouble with navigation. This console player being unable to remove the console cursor, which means they are unable to move once the run starts. Let's take a look at what happened to them. So this user is trying to remove their console cursor by pressing select on their console, and the cursor is not being removed. So I'm assuming on console you are able to remove the cursor and navigate a different way, but that's not working. And this user is saying when they join a run, they are unable to move their toon because the cursor stays. Hopefully the dev team can figure out what is happening to this console player. Another problem to do with console players is closing Twisted V pop-up ads whilst in a run. This user said, just wondering, can y'all change the controls on PlayStation to clear these pop-ups? When I distract her, it's so hard and I die every time, and I can distract Pebble. Please help. So this console user is wondering if there's an effective way of closing these ads. This user replied and basically said the X button on PlayStation will close the pop-ups instantly. So if you're on a PlayStation and you are having trouble closing V ads, press the X button and that should work and close the pop-ups instantly. Our next bug is to do with the twisted board in the garden view lobby. This user said no twisted on the twisted board. My friend saw the same thing as me. If we take a closer look, as you can see, it is true, there's no twisted on the twisted board. It's what's happening to other players as well. That's super annoying, not knowing what the twisted of the day is. This might have been fixed already because I haven't seen any more bug reports of this problem, so this bug might not be happening anymore, which is good news. Our next problem is to do with text stickers not scaling properly in runs. This user said sticker text is scaled in lobby but not scaled in runs, and on the left picture that's the text sticker in a lobby. It's the correct size, you can read it properly, and on the right hand side is a text sticker in a run. It's smaller and it's harder to read, so hopefully the dev team can allow some consistency when it comes to the sizing of text stickers.